Hello YouTube, and welcome to the monthly stats video for July. Now July was an intensely hot month, hottest day ever recorded in the United Kingdom, I believe. So I'm expecting good results for July. Incidentally, I've got a graph here because I'm still got my graphing system set up for recording the outside and inside temperature of the house that I was using over the winter to sort of test those electric rads and stuff. But I've got an actual graph here that shows the internal temperature in the house topped nearly 31 degrees inside the house, and that was on the 18th of July. So pretty hot. Really makes me think about getting air-to-air heat pump instead of air-to-water heat pump, so then I can use it as air conditioning and keep the house cool on days like that. But anyway, without further ado, let's get into the stats. We generated 1,138 kilowatt hours in July, and that means we've broken the megawatt hour again, which is really nice. I always like to break the megawatt hour. And by more than last month, I think. So that's really nice. Did any of you out there break the megawatt hour again in July? I suspect probably quite a few of you who have got large enough systems probably did as well. So we imported just 35 kilowatt hours, and really that amounts to about a kilowatt hour a day, and it's just down to this bleed effect that I've mentioned many times before, and I disregard it as far as the off-grid streak goes. It's not power that we're pulling in because we need it. It's power that's just a side effect of the way the grid-tied battery system works. Our best day was on the 24th of July, and on that day we generated 51 kilowatt hours. And here is the graph for the production that day, and you can see it wasn't even a perfect day. There was some clouds in the middle of the day by the looks of it. So but yeah, massive graph. You can see we were actually going over 8 kilowatts in total there. That's not actually sort of clipping or anything, that's just my graph is set as the maximum value is 8 kilowatts. So it does occasionally peak above that, but literally for a few seconds, like if the sun comes out from behind a cloud and strikes the panels, just instantly they'll ramp up to just a bit above that, and then they'll suddenly come back down to the max. But yeah, that was pretty awesome. But again, you can see that my MPP solar, the one here, the off-grid one here, is ramping down towards the end of the day because the batteries were full, and obviously if there'd been places for that power to go, it would have generated more, and so my total would have been actually a bit higher. But that's the downside of a off-grid system, I suppose. So our worst day was yesterday, the 31st of July, and it was pretty grey. On that day we generated just 18.9 kilowatt hours, so almost 19 kilowatt hours, which is not a lot, but it was enough to keep us going. I was actually thinking that we might not make it through the day on that day because I'd used up almost all the battery power through the night before, heating hot water and things, and I think we were down to about 25% in the batteries, and they only go down to 20%, and that's it. So we had about 5% left before the batteries were empty, and the day was quite grey, and I was thinking like we're never going to get enough into the batteries today to get us through the night, so the streak will probably be over. But then it brightened up a bit in the afternoon, and we did in fact get the batteries full, and managed to successfully not pull anything from the grid still, so I was really happy about that. So here is the graph for the worst day, and you can see how, like I was saying, it was pretty grey in the morning, and then it suddenly brightened up towards the later part of the day, and that was just what we needed to get the batteries full, so that we would be able to heat the hot water in the night and have enough left over to get us all the way through to the next day. So here is the pie chart for the month. Shows where all the power that we generated came from, and what really impresses me about this is my shed mounted solar panels. There's only 1 kilowatt of panels connected to the inverter here on the roof of the shed, but it's produced nearly 10% of all my power. So, and it was relatively inexpensive for me to just plonk them on the roof of my shed. By far the biggest cost was just the panels themselves, and the inverter obviously. But I'm still really pleased with how much that contributes. I've been thinking about trying to add another one that's sort of to create like a little canopy that sticks above the door entrance there, so I can get one more on there, and then maybe something to look at in the future. Okay, so let's have a look at the generated power pie chart. So you can see we managed to keep 90% of all the power we generated, and we exported just over 9%. I usually like that to be 95% kept, but there was a lot of sunny days, and I think eventually even I ran out of places to put it. So that probably explains that. But very good month. Yeah, can't complain. Here is the pie chart that shows where all the power went in July, and yeah, nearly a third of it went into the Tesla, and what's that, 16% went into the Leaf. So almost half of our power usage is on the cars, and I don't even commute in the car anymore, so it just shows how much power a car uses relative to the house. Yeah, the next biggest is the hot water, was nearly 17%, and yeah, gaming is taking up rather a lot now. That's not all down to gaming, I have to say. It's because of all the hot weather. Both of my sons have got fans going in their rooms now to keep them, reasonably comfortable while they're gaming and what have you. So so the fans are on like almost 24 hours a day, because they have them on through the night as well. So I think that's artificially inflated that gaming bracket to more than it would be for just gaming. But even still, yeah, you can see that's getting on for nearly a quarter of all the power, as those two have been using it. Here's the pie chart for the energy mix, and yeah, almost 97% self-use. So there's a tiny sort of 3% of our power that's trickled in from the grid. So let's have a look at the power usage graphs for each day, broken down into half-hourly blocks, so you can see how many kilowatt hours we used in each half-hour block for each of the days in July. And you can see that yeah, the off-grid streak remains intact. We managed to stay off-grid for the whole of July, and so yeah, 31-day streak in July. Let's have a quick look at the homemade batteries behind me, and yeah, they're all doing fine. A couple of them are slightly lower than the others, but I've noticed this is what happens when they get quite low down in their state of charge. The differences between the packs become more obvious, but once they charge back up to nearly full again, it all goes back to being almost level. So Yeah, nothing really to worry about there, all still working fine. Well, that's the monthly stats for July. It was an exceptional month, exceptionally hot, but also, you know, really, really good for generation because we had a lot of really, really sunny days. Let me know how all of yours went. I know some of you have got a similar size array to me, and you were breaking the megawatt hour last month. So yeah, be interested to know if you did the same this month. But yeah, that's it for July. There'll be another video coming shortly around more updates on my progress towards getting off fossil fuels directly. And I also thought I'd do a little test of one of my original Pylon Tech batteries. These are the ones that predate the US 2000s. These are called Extra 2000s, and they're really quite old now. One of them is now 8 years old, so it's getting towards what they claimed would be its lifespan. So and it does seem to be having some problems. So I'm going to do some tests on that to see how much capacity it's lost and whether or not it's worth keeping it in service or getting rid of it. So stay tuned for that one as well if you'd be interested in that. Okay, that's it. So thanks for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Cheers.